Hello! So today I'm going to show you this really cool Swiss roll. So the design is actually baked into the cake itself, but you don't need to pipe it on afterwards, and it just has this super cool effect where it looks like a piece of fabric rolled up. So today I'm doing this floral design with you, but you can adapt this and create whatever you like. So these might look a little bit tricky to do, but actually they're not. And actually, if you break it down into all the steps that I show you, it is so much easier than you think, and then you'll be creating loads of design variations in no time. So all the ingredients you'll need are right here in front of me. So here is everything you need for the decorative paste. If you're doing it, it's optional. So icing sugar, eggs, all your food dye, and again, make sure you have like good brands of food dye for nice bright colours after you bake it. And then some plain flour and some butter. And here's everything you need for the Swiss roll bit. So self-raising flour, caster sugar and eggs. And for the filling, double cream, which you're going to whip up, and then your favourite flavour of jam. And all the measurements and everything are on my recipe link below. So you want a rectangular like Swiss roll tin and grease it, nice and greasy. Okay, so you want to cut some greaseproof paper to size so that it fits into here. But also, if you want to do like a decorative pattern, then you want your template drawn onto here. But just concentrate it on one half, because basically when you roll it up, you're not going to see the inner bits. So I'm going to put the ink side downwards so that it doesn't transfer onto my Swiss roll. And then just fit it into the tin. Okay, so now you can see I've got it all in there, and I've got these flaps hanging over the sides, and that's just when I bake it, I can just lift it out. Here's my design, and it's just some basic flowers and stuff, and it's just rough at the moment, but we're going to pipe over the top with some decorative paste and it'll look really cool. So yeah, you can do any design you like, flowers, animals, planes, rockets, whatever you're into. Just make it nice, simple, clean lines and bold. So for the decorative paste, add in your butter to a mixing bowl and add in your icing sugar. And you're just going to cream that together with a whisk, so you can use a hand whisk or you can use like an electric one just to speed stuff up, until it is really nice and smooth. Then you want to add your egg white, so just crack it straight into here. 2 egg whites, so that is 1. Add your other egg white and chuck in your flour and whisk. So you can see now it's just forming a nice paste that is going to be nice and easy to pipe because of the consistency. Okay, so you want to scoop your batter and divide it. So I'm going to put a bit into each bowl, just a dollop and a bit in there. So that's 4 bowls, all with batter in them, and I'm going to add food dye. So I'm going to do pink, green, dark green and black. Okay, got all my colours, and now to pipe them. Put your piping bag in a big glass, dip it in, bundle it up, push that all down, give it a knot. Ta-da! Do that with all of them. Green, darker green, pink, black. You just want to snip your tips nice and small to start with, and then it's just like doing a colouring in book. So you're just tracing the lines that you have drawn. Fill it all in just like a colouring book. And that's basically it. And you just do that all over with all your different colours. So yeah, just pipe your outlines. Really easy. Make it nice and rough and squiggly. Kind of helps with doing flowers, so they really don't need to be that precise at all. And then in the middle, I'm just going to do a black squiggle thing. And for my leaves, I'm just going to do this nice darker green. Pipe that on. It's really easy to pipe because it's nice and stretchy. So just keep piping your lines on wherever you want them. And if there's a little break, you can just join it up. Maybe might just want to thicken that line a bit, so I'm just going to go over it again. So yeah, it's super relaxing. I kind of do this whilst watching some television normally.
What would you watch?
What would I watch? Oh, Drag Race. So that is my design, mostly piped. The only bit I've got to add is these little leaves. But the trick is I'm going to put it in the freezer right now so that this will be like rock solid and the colours don't merge. Okay, so just taking this out of the freezer and it's nice and chill. So it's been in there like 10 minutes. Come on, come here at the door. So I'm just going to pipe my lighter green on top for all the leaves. And you can go right over the dark green because all that shows is what's on the bottom. I just love these colours, green and pink, and you can never fail. So that is it. I'm going to shove this back into the freezer whilst I do the Swiss roll cakey bit. And now is when you want to turn your oven on to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the Swiss roll is really, really easy. You're just going to start by whipping up your eggs and your sugar until it's really nice and light and fluffy, and then you're going to fold in your flour. So I'm just going to crack all my eggs into here. Yeah, having a stand-aid mixer is easier because you can just let it whip and you can chill out. But you can use like electric and like a hand whisk as well. But you just need to stand there the whole time and whisk it for at least 7 minutes. So that's all my eggs in there, and I'm going to add in my caster sugar all in one go and then just beat it for 7 minutes. So I'm going to put my timer to 7, press start and beat it on maximum. Also don't forget to subscribe. Beeping! Okay, so that is 7 minutes. Oh, it's so loud. Okay, so let's look at the consistency of this. So it is thick, and you can see it holds that shape, you know, where it drips onto it, it holds it for a little bit. So yeah, if you're using an electric whisk by hand, make sure that it gets as thick as this. So slightly holds its shape. Okay, so you're just gonna sieve in your self-raising flour. Just sieve in like about 1/3 at a time. So I'm gonna do 1/3. And then you need a spatula and you're gonna fold it. So you're gonna scoop around the edges and just get that flour mixed in. And the aim is just to be gentle with it, so try not knock out too many air bubbles. We want lots and lots of bubbles. Sieve in a bit more flour. And again, just fold it. You could even add like food dye to this batter as well if you wanted your Swiss roll made, like the actual cake, to be another colour. So sometimes you get like clumps like this. You can just gently twizzle them in as well, like this. You don't want giant pockets of flour when you bake it. So I'm going to sieve in the last of my flour, and then I'm just going to keep on folding that. Okay, so I think I'm at a stage where there's no massive lumps of flour appearing, so I don't want to overmix this. And so now I'm just going to put it all in my tin and on top of my design. So all you do, gently pour this over your design and spread it all over. So you might get some pockets of flour when you pour it, that's fine, just twizzle them in. It's better to do it that way than overmix it initially and lose your air bubbles. And just pour that all over. And then just use your spatula to smooth it into a somewhat even layer. Great, that's done. And you know you've done it right when it's kind of, you can see there's still a bit of texture to it and there's air in there. Okay, so straight away going to bake this for 10 minutes. Just watch out when you're baking it because literally 30 seconds can be the difference between it being just baked and overbaked. You don't want to underbake it because then it will be underbaked, but you don't want to overbake it either because then it will be really dry and it will be harder to roll up. Swiss roll out of the oven. And yes, I know my oven gloves are very dirty. I need to buy new ones. Okay, so now it's out of the oven. You're just going to run a little knife around all the edges. There you go. And then the whole thing just lifts out and you're going to slide it onto here. Super easy. Okay, just going to put it on here so it'll make the next step a bit easier. So peel off these edge bits. And then get a serrated knife and just trim off all of these edges. And yep, we are working whilst it's still warm. The reason I need to cut off these edges is because they are like drier than the rest of the cake. So when it's all rolled up, the edges are more likely to make the cake crack. Okay, get rid of all your crusts. And now you want to get the baking paper off of this, so I'm going to flip it. So the easiest way to flip it is just put it on this chopping board, beat the whole thing up, do that. So just gently peel off the paper and reveal your design. This is like the most exciting bit ever. I love the colours. It looks so cool. Love it. Okay, so peel it all off. Woo! And then I'm just going to flip it again onto this damp tea towel. So I want the design on the underneath for when I roll it up. There. Now I'm just going to roll this up whilst it's still warm, starting from this end, which doesn't have the pipe design on it. You're going to roll it up in this damp towel. So the first roll, I'm going to do it quite like tight, and that is okay. It's just to get like a really nice swell afterwards. So you want a nice defined core that you're going to have all your jam and that. Okay, so just roll it up to about there. So when you get to this bit, then you can just push it forwards with your fingertips and it will just guide itself. And finish the roll. Ta-da! So now I'm just going to leave that for like 15 minutes or so to cool completely, and then we're going to unroll it again and then fill it with all the cream and jam and all the good stuff. And the reason why I rolled it up now and I'm going to unroll it and then re-roll it again is because basically the cake has a memory. Well, it doesn't literally have a memory, but it remembers the form it's been put in whilst it's still warm. So yeah, when you re-roll it, it's going to remember it's going to be a crack-free sponge. No cracks. Mochi, what do you think? No cracks? Yeah! So this has cooled really quickly actually, with about 10 minutes. And so now it's time to unroll. So I'm just going to gently unroll it away from me. Very exciting. Okay. Cool. So that is unrolled now. Could you pass me some jam, Nabil? Thank you. Okay, so spread the whole thing over with some jam. So first just chuck on some like dollops of jam and then spread it all out with a spoon. So you really want the jam to really go into this bit. I like jam. So just gonna pop that over there. Get a bowl. Go on 0. So add your cream to a bowl. Whip it up. So get a spatula and scoop it out and onto your jam and spread it. Spread over all of that cream. And then again, you really want to make sure you get some just in this inner bit. Do not neglect it for a nice spiral. Okay, all done. Also at this stage you can add some like fresh fruit like raspberries or blueberries or strawberries or whatever, but I am just going to keep it just cream, jam, simple. Again, we're going to use a tea towel to roll it up. Try get that bit tight as possible. Looking good. And then just lift the tea towel as you go along and guide it into place. Just lifting the tea towel, guiding it into place. Okay, and just lift it off. Woo! And you're just going to want to slide the tea towel out from underneath. And there you have your incredible, like, fancy Swiss roll with like flowers and leaves piped and baked right into it. I mean, I just love that. Look at it. All angles. And then the final thing you really want to do before you serve it to people is trim the front and back, just to make it nice. You know, the cream's kind of oozing a little bit now, but you want it a bit neater. So just cut it here. Use a serrated knife, and then again cut this side. And don't be afraid to move it as well. You can just, it's not that fragile. You can lift it and just put it on a nice, prettier serving tray. And that here is your super incredible decorated Swiss roll that will impress people and isn't that hard to make. And it tastes really good. I'm going to have it for dessert, after dinner, or before dinner. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you make this, you can tag me as well. I would love to see. I really want to eat this right now. So I'm going to say bye. Bye-bye and see you next week.
I'll say bye-byes, can you?
No.